All right. I spend way too much time on social media, right?
I think we all do.
Yeah. What do you know about furries?
I don't want to fuck them.
Wasn't ready for that.
No, I know that they are a sector of people that's not inherently sexual, but a lot of the things is sexual about it. I knew someone who came to school with a wolf mask. A couple of people who came into school with tails. That's my level of interaction I've had with them.
Okay, so what I knew about furries was, people dress up in, animal costumes
Right.
and, pretend to be, whatever their fursona is. What I learned last night, I want to say, is that there's a distinction that people are now trying to be made known. So there are furries and there are therians.
That
Furries
sounds
are
like an alien in like Star Trek.
Yeah. So a furry is somebody who cosplays, whatever their fursona is. A therian is somebody who actually believes they aren't completely human. As in, they try to act as close to that animal as possible. Like, there's a dude in I think Korea or China, something like that, that has literally spent a lot of money on a costume to make him look like a dog, and he'll actually act like that dog.
I don't know if it's on like My Strange Addiction, but I've heard of like a girl that was like, no, I'm a wolf. And I, go in the park and get on all fours and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, and that I didn't know it had gotten to a point where they're like, I'm not a furry, I'm a therian, or I'm not a therian, I'm a furry. I didn't know it made it to that point.
Well, don't say stuff like that just because I know there's going to be a civil war. The furries don't identify with them, and they think that furries are too good for them, or they think that furries think that they're too good for them. There's going to be something like that.
Yeah, it's I've seen probably like one or two reels off of Instagram about shit like that, and it's just like, all right, don't catch me up with that shit.
I've heard of like zoophiles. I've never gone into the definition, but I hear that people
neither
would
have
kill them. Like in the furry community, a lot of people are like, yeah, no, when we see a zoophile, we jump them. And I'm like, I want to see a random asshole getting jumped by someone in a fox costume, a wolf costume, and a bunny costume.
I don't know if you've ever seen this video, but this was a couple years back. Cars tailing each other, and a bunch of people jumped out of this car with a bunch of costumes on, and like threw somebody in the back of their van.
I think it was one was like Mario and Sonic.
I think so. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen that video resurface.
But I'm usually a very accepting and welcoming person. But when you come up and tell me that, yeah, no, I'm a fox and I'm not a human, I'm like, no.
Yeah, I've seen the dude that's like, I'm a wolf, and they'll throw in shots of him in the forest or something howling. And yeah, I'm just like, all right, bro. And then the dude in whatever Eastern Asian descent that he is, he'll actually eat dog food.
See, I don't get the appeal. Well, I should say this. I get the appeal of being like a dog, right? You just get to lay around, eat, sleep, and shit all day, and you have someone that's going to take care of you as long as they're not an asshole that hangs you by the ceiling fan when the Jets don't win. But as soon as you taste dog food, that's at the point where I'd be like, I'm out. What is this?
Yeah.
And why does it not leave? I don't know. Have you ever had dry dog food?
I haven't eaten any non-human food.
No, like on accident. You've never...
like I mean that literally. Like, I have not eaten anything that was related to specifically for humans.
Okay, I have popped dog food on accident. I don't know if I've told you the story about my grandfather, who's a baker. and he was cleaning off his station, and he thought that this certain thing was sprinkles, but it turned out to be dog food. But you pop that, and it's not only the flavor, it stays there. As soon as it gets in your mouth, it turns into a powder that just coats your tongue. So you're sitting there, and it tastes awful, and then it won't leave your mouth. You can't swallow it.
I've gotten pretty close because for one Christmas for our pets, we actually got like this cookie like tin tray thing that's like supposedly has like different flavors and all that. And we took them out of the tray because it took up too much space in the house wherever we were keeping them, and put them in a bag. And then I forgot we did that, so I got really close and smelled it, and it was just like, that's not an actual cookie.
You actually reminded me of a story. So this place we're living in, before we lived in it, my lady's best friend and her man lived in it, right? Mm-hmm. And when me and her were wanting to get out of the trailer, they were about to leave this place, and they were like, hey, why don't you move into here? And it was affordable, and we did. But for the first month or two, we lived with them because they hadn't moved out yet. Their lease wasn't up.
Yeah.
So I got up to go to work one day, and my lady loves packing my lunch. And I went to work, sat down, and had my lunch, when it was time for me to have my lunch. And there were these fat-ass, like, vanilla cream cookies. They looked like one of those off-brand Oreo things.
Yeah.
But I grabbed them, and I was like, I didn't know we had these. I smell them, and I'm like, those smell good. And I popped them, right?
Yeah.
They tasted phenomenal. They were great.
Yeah.
Got home, fell asleep, woke up, and her and her best friend were sitting on the couch, and they were like, hey, did you like those cookies last night? And I was like, yeah, they were great. What were they?
That's terrifying.
And both of them were like, oh my God. And I was like, what? They were good. Like, what were they? And they were like, those were dog treats. And I don't know I can't remember my reaction, but I think I looked at them, and I'm going to make myself seem better or a little gross, but I looked at them, and I was like, well, I guess I'm a dog. Who? No, they were, dude, they legitimately tasted amazing. I didn't actually do that. I can't remember what my response was, but they were legitimately good. Like, I was debating on putting them back in my lunch even after I found out they were dog treats. They were good.
They were 100% dog treats, right?
Yeah, 100% dog treats.
I don't know, man. I don't think I would do that.
They tasted good. There's no nutritional value in it at all.
Out of the principle,
obviously, it wasn't toxic because I didn't throw up or anything,
I mean, yeah, it was meant for dogs, and you don't want your animals eating anything toxic either.
No, it may have turned into the episode of Goosebumps where the guy's slowly turning into a dog. Do you remember that? Where I wake up after eating the cookies, look in the mirror, and I got ears, and I'm a little more hairy. And I'm like, no!
I'd be more understanding if it was something like a Scooby snack.
But no, dude, even with like the bacon treats that they have, they smell so good. Like you pop open a bag of those little bacon treats and you smell it and you're like,
See, they smell like something I would like. It's like, okay, that smells, fine, because, bacon treat. But then I get like, there's like the aftertaste of smell that I get that's just like, that's not meant for me.
I can kind of see what you're coming for when it comes to like, because it lingers kind of a rubbery kind of thing.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Are you a savory snack guy?
I see all that's in my pantry right now is like Pop-Tarts and like grain bars. But I usually tend to find myself wanting something more savory, yeah.
See, I grew up playing football, obviously, being a man, being a red-blooded American. I had a lot of beef jerky growing up. And now, I'm not a big beef jerky guy.
See, I had a lot of sunflower seeds. And, like, as a matter of fact, I still got sunflower seeds.
My dad, when he was trying to quit dipping, he mixed up.
That's what I did to try and quit vaping.
mix up a bag of like ranch and barbecue sunflower seeds and just spit them into a bottle. I'd suck on sunflower seeds and they were fine, but I was never a massive sunflower seed guy.
I love me some sunflower seeds.
What about those sticks? Those like beef sticks, like Slim Jims or whatever the fuck that Longhorn logo is.
I used to eat those along with like beef jerky. Especially when I worked at Lowe's a couple years back. That was like my snack. Like I would get those or beef jerky. And I think I ate them too much because I got tired of them really quickly. And I eat beef jerky like once in a blue moon now.
See, like I said, teriyaki beef jerky is fine and I might get a little pouch of them. But
those are my favorite, yeah.
I used to eat the big pouches and just hound them. But a story I have relevant to this is I was never a big beef stick guy. Like Slim Jims, I could never come around to. And this past year, I love my dad, and he doesn't know I think this way. I think I've told you this. I'm going to tell the story in the podcast. He got me something for my birthday. And he lives, an hour and a half away, so he can't just come down here and, spend it with me.
Yeah.
So he sent me a birthday present. He was like, "You're going to love it. It's going to be great." And I was like, "Cool." I opened my door one day just before I'm about to go to work, and there's just this white sack on my welcome mat. And I pick it up and I look at it, and I'm like, I feel it. And it makes like a scrunching sound. And I'm like, the hell?
Yeah.
I walk in my bedroom and I'm like, did you order anything? She was like, no. And I was like, open it. And it's a bunch of turkey beef sticks with like cheese. And I text my dad. I'm like, did you get me this for my birthday? He was like, yeah, you like it? And I was like, popped one in and I went, but he called me and he was like, you like it? I was like, yeah. Amazing. I got, a lot of snacks for work. It's still in my dresser. And if my dad listens to this, I love you, dude. I didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. But I ate that and I was like, I'm not a big savory snack guy. Like if I go to the gas station, look at me, I'm probably going to get me like a Reese's cup or something like that.
Yeah, I tend to do that now more recently. What really got me like sort of back into it, if it wasn't so damn expensive, was the bacon jerky.
Bacon jerky?
Yeah, that shit's fire. But it's expensive as hell. I think like, what are those 16-ounce bags? Something like that. It was like $12.
I will say I've not had it in so long, but one time my stepdad brought like a couple pounds of deer because he went hunting with his buddies. And one thing they made was deer jerky and
fantastic.
Oh my God, dude. The other thing she made deer tenderloin wrapped in bacon. Oh, it's not healthy for you, but my God.
I think many things wrapped in bacon aren't healthy for you, but it's usually pretty good.
No,
tasting-wise.
I asked my lady like a couple of weeks ago, or I didn't ask her. She wanted to make dinner for me, and she was like, "What do you want for dinner?" And I said, fried pork chops, green beans, mashed potatoes, and maybe like macaroni and cheese, and she also got dinner rolls. And she made green beans the Southern way. And you know what I mean by Southern way.
Yes, sir.
Fucking soaked in bacon grease with bacon. And I was like, I had that because I wanted a green, and you made it so unhealthy.
Okay. Baked beans. Have you had them the real Southern way?
Oh, man.
It's been so long since I've had them made that way, but I have a giant can of baked beans in the pantry right now.
God, dude.
So I might just have to do it. But I remember, like, we had a big old family cookout a couple of years back. And my mom, two things she makes super well. And I love her cooking. two things she makes super well: baked beans, mac and cheese.
Uh-huh.
Those baked beans she made, it was like she, put them in a pot, heated them up and all that. And then she put them in a pan, layered some bacon on top, threw them in the oven for a while. Oh my gosh.
My
Oh
mom,
my gosh.
something I've not had in a while that I really miss, and I might ask my mom to make it for me one day.
Mm-hmm.
Ham and white beans with some cornbread.
Oh,
I wasn't a big cornbread guy, but my brothers love cornbread. But have you never had ham and white beans?
I haven't.
Dude. I think it's a real southern kind of meal. I'm not saying you're not a southern cat. I'm just saying for those who are listening that are like northern Yankee folk.
Poutine.
If y'all are like ham and white beans, what is that? It is, you gotta try it. Now, I'm not very sure what kind of bean. I don't know if it's just called white beans, but it's literally like a bowl of white beans with some ham in it. And I would have rolls because I never liked cornbread, but my mom would make fresh cornbread with it.
Mm-hmm.
Hallelujah! How you doing?
Yeah, my mom's made like some white chicken chili, which is, I think it's white beans of whatever they're called, of course, chicken and chili style.
I love chili. My favorite season is fall because fall brings October, it brings football season, it brings, you get to cool off from the summer, and especially some good hot bowls of chili.
Oh, yeah.
One thing that my lady has always done that she introduced me to, she puts her chili on a bed of rice. Do you do that?
I don't.
It's like surprisingly really good. I shouldn't say surprisingly. I know people in like Ohio love to put it on spaghetti, like spaghetti noodles.
Yeah, speaking of, I went to Ohio for my buddy's birthday this like beginning January, and his favorite spots are like Skyline Chili,
Yep.
and I forgot the other one, but they're the rivals.
I listen to a lot of people from Ohio. There's Skyline, and then there's Gold Star.
Yeah, Gold Star. Yeah, I didn't really like both of them.
No, I get it.
Because it's not the chili I'm used to. It's much thinner and less tasting, I guess you'd say.
My favorite kind of chili is just basic. Just some meat, some beans, some hot sauce, and I'm cool.
I want to go to like a chili fest, which we have around here at some points in time, and to like get the hot stuff because I really want to taste it. Like I like hot things. Like I put ghost pepper on just about anything I cook.
Uh-huh.
So like I want to taste like the hot shit.
We had a potluck at our church one time, and this was a while ago, where me, my brothers, and one of my buddies, there was 25 pots of chili. 25 crock pots full of chili. And we were like, we're going to try all of them. Because it was a chili contest, and you voted on which one was the best. So from 1 to 25, we had just like half a scoop of chili, and we'd eat it. And I will say, there was one, I can't remember what number it was. It was so sweet. It was so sweet. Why was it sweet? Like, I get like sweet chili, but there was no heat. You make sweet chili to add some heat to it. It was just sweet. What is that? I felt so sorry for the children in that household.
That's part of the reason I didn't like Skyline or Gold Star, because it was on the sweeter side. They did have hot options, but the hot options usually included just like pepper jack cheese.
Yeah.
And it was just like, okay, it's got more heat than the regular, but it's not hot.
Did your mom ever do some experimenting with cooking?
Yes.
What's one dish you can remember that was a bit of an experiment?
White chicken chili. It turned into a more common thing after she had experimented with it.
Yeah.
But that's like the first thing that comes to mind.
My mom made quesadilla burgers. Because she was like, we have tortillas and cheese, and we have some beef. And those are so
just
good.
Sounds like a quesadilla to me.
Well, no. So what it turned out, it was tortilla, burger, tortilla. It wasn't like ground beef. It was you make it like a quesadilla, but you put a burger patty in there, and it was good, brother. I know you can get like a cheeseburger quesadilla, especially at places like Cookout, but I'm talking like cheeseburger, but instead of patty or instead of buns and all the toppings, tortilla.
You put in a tortilla. Yeah. Sounds about right. I've experimented kind of more here than I have at home. But it's not really much more of like new food type experimenting other than making how I make the food. I've just started like reverse searing steaks.
My lady is good at, getting like pork chops or chicken or whatever, getting in the kitchen, opening the cabinet and being like, those would work well together. Let's grab that. Let's grab this and doing it. And it tastes phenomenal.
So let me tell you the black way of cooking. For one, garlic powder and onion powder go for just about anything.
Yep.
And then I picked it up from my mom and my family, but I sort of seasoned based on smell. It's like I smell something and I was like, what am I missing? And I realized I picked it up from my family when my mom did the exact same thing and then came to me for a second opinion. Because she made, I think it was jambalaya one day. And she was like, I'm missing something here. Z, come check this out. I was like, all right. Tasted it. It's like, something is missing. I smelled it. Did you add enough pepper?
Yeah.
She's like, I thought so. Maybe not. Then she threw some more in, tasted it again. Oh, that's fine now.
My mom would be flabbergasted at how much I cook now. The first meal I made my lady when she wanted me to cook her dinner was pork chops. It was honey glazed pork chops with some macaroni and mashed potatoes, and I made the entire thing. And if my mom saw me now with how much I cook dinner, she'd be like, excuse me? Let me give you a line I used when I was like 6 years old. I was like, I'm going to grow up and I'm going to have a girlfriend and we're going to live in an apartment and whatever. She was like, or she asked me, it's like, why don't you learn how to cook? And I was like, I have a girlfriend for that. And she's like, well, what if you don't have a girlfriend? I said, well, I guess I'll starve to death. And she was like, what? That's a little misogynistic for a 6-year-old.
I'm glad that's just 6-year-old you.
Yeah. But
no, I send my mom pictures of things I make, and she's like, so you're making me this, right? And I was like, we'll see.
But yeah, I throw down. What really got me wanting to cook was my dad and my grandfather have their version of daddy burgers. So I was like, I got to have my version, right? I'm out the house, and I've been experimenting with how to make it better. And I make some pretty good burgers. I ain't gonna toot my horn, but I make some pretty good burgers.
I have. I've been trying to actually. It's surprisingly enough, I've been trying to make my own burger. It's been a couple months since I've tried because I just haven't thought of it in a minute. But I think the last burger I made, I could have done something better. Because I actually, when I still worked at FedEx, we were in contingency, so I went all the way to the other side of the state and helped that terminal deliver packages and whatnot.
Right. And
one of the customers out there gave one of my coworkers 8 blocks of cheese.
Damn.
Like real cheese. Yeah. And he's like, here, like, he gave most of it to me. And he's like, of course I want like 2 blocks. I gave a block to some family members and whatnot. And I think I still had like 3 left. And me and my roommates have been using it. I think it's all gone now. I made a burger from that. And regular cheeseburger, put the cheese on top of the burger, melt it down, let it soften, whatever. I was like, I'm going to try and put the cheese in the burger.
Yeah.
Didn't work out so well because the cheese was so thick that the heat didn't get to it too much. And I figured a way to make that better, but also I don't have the block of cheese anymore.
No, if I put cheese, like if I cook cheese into a burger, it's always shredded cheese. I never take my chance with.
I cut it into
Whole
small
cheese.
parts. It was just a really big fat burger that didn't hold it very well.
Right.
And I went through the process wrong.
See, burgers are a weird thing for me because I love a cheeseburger from my dad or my grandfather or the ones I make, but I've never had a burger like at a restaurant or fast food place where I'm like, yeah, no, that's great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The closest, like the best fast food burger, in my opinion, I consider Five Guys a fast casual place, so don't get on me when I don't say Five Guys. Hardee's. If I want a fast food burger, I'm probably going to Hardee's.
Okay.
If I want a fast casual, I'm going to Five Guys. But
yeah, my fast
if
food
I want to
choices
pay
aren't
$40 fucking for a burger, you expensive fucks.
Yeah, I
Sorry to
have Five
interrupt
Guys
you.
in a minute.
Sorry to interrupt you, but holy shit, dude.
Now, I've had pretty bad decisions with fast food. Like, I think my go-to is McDonald's. And I'm not saying it's good, because it's not really the best. And I think I would prefer actually Hardee's better, because my aunts worked there all my life.
Carl's Jr. for those on the West Coast.
Yeah. But I think like one day I was working at Staples, and my aunt came in to buy some stuff for her store, because she manages them, or at least gets moved around to manage stores. And she brought me a burger, and that was the best burger I had in a minute.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I gotta start eating more Hardee's burgers if I'm going for like a quick burger. But like since moving out of town, it's kind of dropped off in quality.
Yeah. That's the thing with all fast food though. You go sometimes and it's tremendous, and you go sometimes and you get food poisoning.
Yeah.
No.
That's what put me off of Captain D's of all places.
Hardee's Frisco burger, which is onions, mayo, provolone cheese, and Texas or sourdough bread. Whew. But my problem with it is my favorite burger there is the barbecue Baconator. The Baconator's Wendy's, but the barbecue bacon thick burger. But they only have it for like a month every year. It's like the McRib.
How do you feel about the McRib?
I had it once, and I was like, and then growing up now, I'm like, that's not anything I should be consuming. That is not anything I should put in my body. McDonald's already is nothing you should put in your body, but the McRib? No. No.
Yeah, I have friends that, to this day, whenever the McRib releases, they're like, McRib's back, let's go! And I'm just like, I don't like that sandwich.
No, that bullshit barbecue sauce they put on it, the onions and shit, that's disgusting. And if you pull apart that meat and cut it up, dude, I just gag thinking about it. No.
I'm not a big fan of the McRib, like, at all. And it's just like, I couldn't do it. If I want something ribs in a burger, I'm going to make my own. Because I've made some fire ribs, like, most recently.
If I want ribs, I have a hookup to where I can have 2 pounds of free ribs for, like, free ribs! My lady's grandmother works at a Fat Boys in Antioch. And if I call her up and I'm like, hey, Grammy, I got nothing to eat. Or me and Fantasia, I got to stop saying her real name. That's going to be a running bit on this show. Me and her, we need some food. She'd be like, all right. And she's going to show up with green beans, macaroni and cheese, baked beans, ribs, and pulled pork on the spot. No questions asked. I don't need some bullshit sandwich. And it's already offensive because ribs are some of my favorite food on this fucking planet.
Same here.
Fuck the McRib.
So how do you feel about barbecue sauce? Because I'm going on to ribs here. How do you deal with barbecue sauce?
You know, we're going to break the fourth wall a little bit here. First, we'll get into that real quick. But we're kind of like not. We've been rocking on the same page, and you've dealt me some pretty sick segues that I've wanted to get into, but I wanted to stick on fast food for a while, and I thought of like 3 segues to what I wanted to talk about, and now you're just throwing a curveball at me. But don't worry about it. I love it.
My fault. I'm just continuing.
No, don't worry about it. I love it. Barbecue for my entire life has been my favorite kind of food. Mm-hmm. Barbecue ribs, pulled pork, barbecue chicken, all of that, right? Falling off a little bit for me because my all-time favorite food we'll get into in a little bit. But my grandfather actually, I've told you last week twice I made barbecue chicken tenders.
Yeah.
He got me this barbecue set, and I wish I knew the name of it, but tossed in that barbecue sauce, fuck! God, it's so good.
So I'm coming back to ribs here. I made ribs a couple months back. Yeah. Right. I have a smoker. I'm going to start using it, but I didn't at the time, or I didn't want to deal with it at the time. So I made it in the oven. I came across, for one, a good mix of seasonings for a rub for the ribs. Yeah. So, let them sit in and then, throw them in, bake them in it for a while. And then I came across a recipe for like using barbecue sauce as a base and then adding your own seasonings to make it actually better. And it's the base is Sweet Baby Ray's. Mm. The best barbecue sauce you can buy at the store.
Sweet Baby Ray's. The other 2 sauces I will buy at the store is Casey Original. And if they have Sticky Fingers barbecue sauce there, I'll buy it. Sweet Baby Ray's is the basic barbecue sauce to say it's the best, but it's unbeaten. It's basic for a reason. Dude, the original, the sweet and spicy, I don't really fuck with the honey barbecue as much, but...
Not so much anymore for me.
Man, that original barbecue sauce slaps.
It is the best. It's especially the best base for what I did with it. So I grabbed some Blue Swift alcohol.
Yeah.
Couple shots, cumin, all that. I'm not giving away the whole recipe because family secret. But
you didn't have to do this motion. I'm gonna be honest.
Nah, I'm doing it anyways.
You didn't. Family secret. It's all in these nuts, boy.
I banged my chest, sir.
You did that. You 1,000% did that.
No, we will
roll back the fucking footage, dog.
We will run it back in the recording. I've got the timestamp right now. We will run it back. Matter of fact, let me write it down. Cool. Done. So mix that together. Throw it on the ribs. For one, that mix to make that barbecue sauce, I might have to stick with for like the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a big. I do love barbecue, but I will tend towards like hot barbecue. Mm-hmm. So I've got I think it's hot whiskey sauce from Pepper Palace. Probably the best hot sauce store around.
Right.
And that hot whiskey, it's a barbecue sauce. It is spicy as fuck. That shit burns. And I was like, I thought about using it with that, but I was like, I already put Reaper and Ghost Pepper into my hot sauce. I'm not going to use that because it also uses, I think it's Reaper or habaneros. It's super fucking spicy.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'll deal with my own hot sauce. I like to mix my own. I like to do all that. I'm about to get back into smoking just for that.
No,
because I've got the smoker. I just got to clean it out so I can use it.
I'm not a spicy barbecue guy. I love a good smoky barbecue sauce. Enough zing so you're like, right? You get a little steak. You like whiskey, right? Yeah. Not to compare it to whiskey, but a good whiskey stings you in the back of the throat a little bit. That's what a good smoky barbecue sauce gives you.
Yeah, I've got a buddy in Knoxville. He just moved back up there. Him and his dad have got into smoking a lot more, and before he moved away, he brought back some pulled pork that he had made. I need him to bring some more back.
What is your favorite, like if you're going out and you're like, I want to go to a barbecue spot, what's your favorite barbecue spot?
So in my hometown, there's like two real options, and one's barbecuties, and the other one was oh my gosh, I
Wits?
forget that. Yeah, Wits. I think I'm gonna stick to Wits.
Okay.
Up here, there's a barbecue spot called Victor's. They like do the experiment stuff. Like they have like barbecue baked potatoes, barbecue nachos, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's good, but I think I prefer Wits.
I love Famous Dave's. My top,
See,
my
I don't
top
get barbecue
half,
from Famous Dave's.
my top has to be Fat Boys because I have connections there. I get free food
Yeah.
from there. Can't do my Grammy. I'm saying my Grammy. I'm married into this fucking family, dude. She brings me a tray of chess squares. Look at me. She
she's
is
the
not
chess
helping.
squares? She's the chess squares, Granny?
Yes. Oh my god. They're so
I'm gonna need her to bring me some because you swear by those chess squares.
Oh,
I need her to
dude.
bring me some.
Dude, one of those chess squares with a glass of milk. I'm trying to lose weight and she does not fucking help me. Every time she doesn't give me a tray anymore, but she packs this fat ass chess square.
I
and
remember from
everything.
your wedding reception. She
Yup.
had those and brought you a tray specifically.
Yeah.
You know how jealous I was?
Oh man, dude, she had everything. She had ribs. She had chicken.
Yeah,
she had
the food
everything.
there was fantastic.
I forgot that.
Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was kind of worried because coming from where I come from to your family, I was like, I hope this food is good because I know black people food and the stereotype is white people don't like the season, ignoring the fact that that's not Southern white people because they can cook. But
Well,
I was a little worried, and then I came in and was like, oh my gosh.
you have the two different types of Southern white people when it comes to cooking. And for me, I have both types in my family. You have one type that is the potato salad, deviled eggs, dry ass turkey. That shit, right?
So raisins in the potato salad.
Not raisins. I just fucking hate potato salad. There might be raisins in there, but I hate it. But you also have my mom, in which my mom is from Memphis. My mom is from Memphis, and she is from the projects of Antioch, dog. She knows how to cook. So, like, on Thanksgiving, I'd go to that side of the family and be in tears the entire time. Then I'd go to my mom's side of the family, and I'd be fucking, And if any of my family listens to this, I also apologize. But when I married my lady, or when she started coming to Thanksgiving, and she offered to cook stuff, I was like, all right, you're doing mashed potatoes, macaroni, rolls, you're doing the turkey. And she did all this, and everybody in my family Thanksgiving was like, man, the food's a lot better this year. I'm like,
understandable. Let me tell you about my ex here. Her mom, she was part of the white people that grew up in the South and could not cook worth the shit.
Didn't learn anything from those slaves. Jesus Christ!
Jesus Christ, dude. yeah, go on. Get out of here. But
I'd like to formally apologize. I should have never. No.
I'm going to hold you against that for a while.
Oh my god. Hey, let Jack go one episode without being racist. Impossible challenge.
But she told me about this story when we were still together, that her dad was cooking, and her family prefers her dad's cooking over her mom's. And her mom gets a block of cream cheese, throws it on the grill, puts some Old Bay seasoning on it, and then got mad when it didn't taste good. Because that's all she did. She took a bite, sat the rest down, didn't touch it, and got mad. It's like, that's your own fault.
I have a story.
And I hate to be on the recipient end of that food.
Yeah.
But continue with your story. I'm done with mine.
Sorry, I'm sorry for interrupting. But no, I have a story that's kind of like that. So my dad married my stepmom and tried to convince us that her cooking is as good as my mom's. She can make chicken Alfredo and she makes some pretty good pork chops. Outside of that, doesn't touch my mom's. Even with those, doesn't touch my mom's. Love my stepmom. She knows this. But one of the things she tried to cook, my dad was like, we're having baked potato soup. One thing to know about my brothers, we hate soup. Every version of soup. All of us.
Okay.
Soups, stews, hate it. And I think that's because my mom made us not only eat the contents of the soup, but also drink the broth after. And we all wanted
that's the point of the soup, I would say.
Well, my lady said that this isn't how it goes. So I'm stepping into uncharted territory right now. She didn't have to drink that broth. All right? But we all
I think that's
soup.
more of a stew type thing, but even stews, you still use the broth as a ingredient to eat.
But we all hate soup and stew. So when my dad told us this, we were like, we don't mess with soup. Like, we don't like it. And he's like, but it's baked potato soup. And we were like, we don't care. Chicken noodle soup sounds phenomenal. It's disgusting in practice. So it's like, we don't like it. And he was like, shut up. You're going to like it. We sit at the dinner table. We take one bite of it. Me, my brother Austin, and Ethan, they don't have fake names, so I'm just going to use their real names. We all look at each other, mouths full going, and my dad and someone were like, you don't like it? And we were like, and they were like, well, why? And we were like, we told you we don't like soup. Maybe if you fucking listen to us, you wouldn't be offended right now.
That's the epitome of like parents, like you're going to eat everything on your plate, and then when you don't like it, that's your fault. After you told them you didn't like it,
my dad got so mad at me because he was trying to like, I guess, kind of like gentle parent me. I was sitting at the table and we had like pork chops, mashed potatoes, and green beans one time. And this was like, I was 4 years old. I ate the pork chops, like the mashed potatoes. I would not touch the green beans. Wouldn't touch them. And he was like, dude, eat your green beans. And I was like, and he said, well, if you don't eat your green beans, you don't get dessert. So I went, and I got up, and he was like, set your ass back down. And I was like, you went back on the deal, brother.
We had a deal.
We had a goddamn deal. You couldn't handle it.
You can't handle the truth.
Yeah, man. I was pissed. That's what I learned, not to trust anybody doing business deals.
I love soup and green beans. My mom still swears to this day. I talked to her yesterday or 2 days ago about this. When I was little and I wasn't that much into spicy things at that point, my mom made some green beans. I swear I don't know what she put in it, but every time I was in tears because it was so spicy. And she's like, it's not spicy. What are you talking about? Now I don't think it's spicy, but I know what she does. And it's just like, no, that was spicy to me back then.
I had my mom heated one time, okay? I went over to my lady's house, and this was in the middle of me being, the boyfriend that was trying to impress the parents or whatever. And her mom made meatloaf, mashed potatoes, some gravy to go with it, with the mashed potatoes, fried okra, and like one more thing. And I hate meatloaf. I hate meatloaf.
Really?
I hate it. It's so bad.
Wait.
I can deal with fried okra, right? We'll talk about that. Let me finish this. I can deal with the fried okra. Not to be rude, that came off as dick.
No.
Not to be dick. But
no, you're good.
But I ate the meatloaf, and her mom walked in. She was like, you like the meatloaf? I was like, yeah, it's great. And I managed to finish it. My mom came and picked me up, and she was like, oh, it smells good in here. What'd you make? And she was like, oh, I made meatloaf and yada, yada, yada. And your son said it was really good. And my mom was like, did he? Really? And she was like, my meatloaf has won me awards, which is a fact. She said, my meatloaf won me award. Yeah. And and she was like, he hates my meatloaf. And she ate it. And I was like, let's just get the fuck out of here right now. Let's just go. He's going to blow my cover.
Well, one, I've got to try your mom's meatloaf now. Two, I love meatloaf.
I hate meatloaf.
I used to hate it. But I don't know what changed or how the recipe changed, but I used to hate it and now I love it. What about meatloaf don't you like? What?
It's dry. The ketchup on it is disgusting. It's just...
They're making it wrong. They're making it wrong.
Maybe.
Meatloaf shouldn't be dry.
Well, I'm saying this. I have not had meatloaf in 6 years. So I'm doing this based off of memory of a while ago, but that's what I remember. Just like the texture is so fucking weird to me. The ketchup on it is disgusting. Ugh.
I can't really describe the texture in a way I want to, but I think of it as like homemade burger patties kind of texture is what I think. That's what I think, and I like that, and it's usually not dry whenever I had it, and I know the sauce is heavily based on ketchup, and I hope it's not only ketchup because I don't think it is, but it's never tasted like a ketchup to me.
Mm. Well, I may just have a very like vinegary memory
Possibly.
of it. But no.
Nah, but I do love me some soup though. Going back to that, like my mom's still mad at me for letting me. She let me try French onion soup that we got one time at a restaurant.
Yeah.
Immediately fell in love with it, and now she hates going to that restaurant with me because I'm like, give me some French onion soup. And I want to start learning how to make it on my own.
My favorite meal back in the day was chicken and dumplings. And every time we went to Cracker Barrel, I would get the chicken and dumplings.
I don't like chicken and dumplings.
I don't like it now, but from the ages of like 2 to like 6, before I was introduced to chicken Alfredo, chicken and dumplings, point blank. My mom asked, she was like, what do you want for dinner? Chicken and dumplings, period.
Mm-hmm. I had like sushi and like pot stickers style dumplings long before I've had chicken and dumplings. Because when I heard of chicken and dumplings when I was a kid, I was like, oh, like the pot stickers dumplings. No, that's not what it is. No, and that ruined it for me.
It's a very American style dumpling. It's not.
Yeah, exactly. And that ruined it for me when I was a kid. And even now, like the weird texture, I guess, I can't handle it.
Did your mom ever do a special meal kind of thing for you on your birthday?
That would be anything including mac and cheese. That's the only thing I like. Whenever she asks me what food I want, like I said earlier, I love her food.
Yeah.
But mac and cheese, man, she makes it some kind of way. She texted me the other day about like what kind of foods I wanted for her graduation party because like me, her, my cousin, and his mom are all graduating around the same time. And she was like, what kind of food do you want? Let me go back to the text here real quick. She said, what kind of food do you want? I got back to her a couple hours later because I didn't see my phone. I said, mac and cheese. That's all I ask. And she called me earlier and she was like, who's going to make this mac and cheese? And I looked at her.
Yeah.
Because we were on FaceTime. I looked at her and she did this move right here. Who are you looking at?
I don't see anyone
behind me.
Yeah. For my birthday and for all my brother's birthday, and to give y'all a little, I grew up in my house.
Mm-hmm.
Me, Austin, Ethan. I'm just going to give the names out. Fuck them. Austin, Ethan, Skylar, Tyler, Lucas. That was my house of kids, right?
Yeah.
For our birthdays, and me and my brother Ethan got to take advantage of this, especially because our birthday was in the summer. We got to pick what everybody ate. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Right? Lunch wasn't a big deal because we pretty much got to pick what we had for lunch anyway. It was usually like sandwiches or whatever. But I guess on that day we could say like, hey, we want McDonald's.
Yeah.
But for breakfast, it was always chocolate chip pancakes. And my mom made chocolate chip pancakes, but for the birthday boy, dude, pull just massive chocolate chip pancake, coated in butter and syrup and powdered sugar, and I went...
You like IHOP?
Stupid. No. I went stupid. Stupid on those pancakes.
It just reminded me of the funny face pancake.
Every
time I was a kid, we went to IHOP, I would always get that.
See, I was never an IHOP guy.
I loved IHOP. I don't really eat it as much now because IHOP's kind of gone down the drain over the years. But back then, that was like my spot.
Back then, if I wanted breakfast, I was probably going to like Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
Cracker Barrel.
I did like Cracker Barrel.
But now I go to First Watch. First Watch is... Have you been to First
Watch? Good,
Watch?
but it's expensive.
It is expensive.
So good, but it's expensive.
It is. If you want anything but water as a drink, my lady loves the kale tonic there, and it's like $6.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
I think
God.
it's been a while since I went. The last time I went, I did actually get that kale tonic.
Those breakfast tacos, dude, with that chorizo, that sausage, that...
I try to keep it basic because it's so expensive. I get like whatever their version of a 2-egg breakfast was. Like,
That's fair.
That's what I would get.
Now, a lot
and
of
of
people...
course, now if I want some breakfast foods, I'm going to Waffle House.
No, I was about to say, a lot of people, based on an episode we had 2 weeks ago, are like, "What y'all talk about Waffle House? Waffle House is not breakfast. Waffle House is 2 a.m, you're awake, you're hungry. Go, try not to get shot."
Yes, that's why I said if I want breakfast foods, not if I want breakfast, because I'm not going to Waffle House for breakfast. Anytime I've gone to Waffle House in the last 3 years has been after midnight. Like shortly after midnight.
Yeah, no. One of the first night me and my lady were in the trailer, her sister was with us, and it was like 3 a.m, and we slowly opened up the guest bedroom door, and she was like, "Yeah," and we were like, "Do you want to go to Waffle House?" She was like, "Sure." I always get the Texas bacon cheesesteak melt with some A1 sauce on the side. Pour some A1 sauce on the hash browns.
I would always get this like sausage, egg, and cheese, or the sausage and cheese like toasters or whatever they were.
Mm-hmm.
And most recently, I started delving into the hash brown bowls.
Yep.
But I mean, I did see that comment on what was it, TikTok or something? It was saying like when we compared In-N-Out to Waffle House, they were like, "Yeah, In-N-Out's like not the best food, but that's the place we grew up on. That's Waffle House.
That's Waffle House. Yeah.
Yeah." And speaking of like favorite things, what is your, let's say, top 5 favorite foods?
Top 5 favorite foods?
Yep, could be anything.
Well, first off, I want to have a little debate, and we'll get into this.
Okay.
And we might absolutely agree on this. What is the best way to consume a soda? Is it bottle? Is it glass bottle? Is it fountain? Is it can? What is it?
It depends on the soda. So if we're talking Sprite,
okay,
I'm going to McDonald's fountain.
Okay.
That's the Sprite. If we're talking Coke, I like the glass, like the Mexican Coke. It does have a different taste, but that's where I'm going to for Coke. Those are like the only 2 sodas I really ever drink. There's like every now and again I'll get like a 2 liter of Fanta, but that's not how I really enjoy it. I guess I prefer like Fanta in a can.
Are you sure it wasn't grape soda? I'm sorry! I'm sorry! I'm sorry!
I knew that was coming, and I was like, I have high hopes. And my hopes just.
Okay, let's have a question. We've been doing this for almost 2 months now. Why are your hopes so high, Z?
I wish the better of you.
It was there! It was a softball that was here!
That was an underhanded pitch, and I was hoping you wouldn't take it. I was hoping you would bunt it.
And just take the out.
Swing.
Just take the out. No, without a shadow of a doubt, fountain is the only way to drink a soda. I can hear glass bottle, and I try to cut all soda out for my life.
I haven't
it's very
had
hard down.
In a couple months.
Good, because I'm really trying to cut all soda from my life. But if I have a soda, I hate using the plastic bottles. It makes it taste so bad. If I'm at a gas station and I want a soda, I'm getting one of those cans. One of those, like, I guess, I don't want to call them a tall boy, but you know which ones I'm talking about.
Like the 12-ounce can, or 12-ounce bottle, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand that. I usually only find those at like the mom and pop style gas stations. You know, not the major brands. So like anytime I go get gas, it's like at a Murphy now.
Yeah,
Because with my previous job, I could just load up on those points.
yeah.
But that's I mean I think I like fountain, glass, and can. And the bottle is going to be very bottom of that list.
Okay. Instead of top 5 favorite foods, I have a better topic that we should end
Okay.
on. Last meal. If you knew you were dying, it was your last day. Because we're not about to put you in prison, right? For any fuck shit. You know it's your last day. You can have whatever you want to eat, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. What is that breakfast, lunch, and dinner looking like?
That's a hard. I've thought about this so much that I still can't come to a decision. So my favorite food is like wings.
Yeah.
Like, but I've come around to steaks a lot more recently. Like I just said, I've started reverse searing steaks.
We're going to save this topic for another discussion on food, but steak is the most overrated food on the planet.
It is. It's also expensive,
Stupid
especially
expensive.
if you don't make it yourself.
I can't. My lady's favorite food. Every time, if I'm like, what do you want for your birthday? She's like, I don't care as long as you make me a steak. So it's her absolute favorite food. But in my opinion, it's the most overrated food out there.
It is very overrated. Like even now, I still see steaks everywhere, like on social media wise.
Mm-hmm.
But like for breakfast, I know I'm going with like chocolate chip pancakes, going for really cheesy eggs, probably scrambled. Getting like oatmeal, probably sausage and bacon. That's my last meal. I'm going fat. Sausage and bacon,
Fuck the cholesterol.
and exactly at that point. And I believe that'd be my breakfast. Probably like some orange juice or apple juice.
Let's go by segments. So for my breakfast, right? Is that okay with you?
Yeah, perfect fine.
So for my breakfast, I'm going around the same thing. Getting a glass of chocolate milk, right?
Chocolate milk.
Scrambled eggs. Purity is too heavy for me. So I'd have to get like half a gallon of whole milk and give me a Hershey's chocolate
milk
syrup.
and give me some. Yeah.
I'm probably doing a blueberry waffle. I love blueberry waffles. And
I'm
then
a big chocolate guy.
And then a plate of hash browns, Waffle House hash browns, bacon, sausage, scrambled eggs, and 2 homemade biscuits.
Okay.
Now for lunch.
Lunch. See, lunch would probably be like a dinner style meal for me because I don't really eat lunch. I barely eat breakfast.
Yeah.
So if we're going that way, I'm probably going to. I'm saving that for dinner. I'll go to my old classic jambalaya, like the Zetterans jambalaya. I'll stick with that for lunch.
For my lunch, it's going to be real simple. It's going to be pepperoni pizza from Papa John's with some Louisiana rub and garlic parmesan wings from Wingstop and a large cherry limeade. Cherry limeade, the Sonic cherry limeade, is the best fast food drink, period.
I like lemonade with lime in it.
A limeade.
Yeah, no, I mean like it's like not a limeade. It's
You have a cup of
with a little bit of
lemonade
lime.
with a lime on it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like that.
every time I go to Sonic, and even if I'm just thirsty and I'm out, I'm going to get a cherry limeade.
I've had cherry limeade. I think I still prefer lemonade with lime over that.
I was gonna say take out Papa John's and it's a different pizza place, but the pizza place I want is shut down now, and I'm still upset about it.
What
But
pizza place was it?
Angelo's in Antioch. It was too late now. They had this
Yeah.
double stuffed pizza that was stupid unhealthy for you, but it was so fucking good.
Okay. Dinner. I'm going real fat for dinner here. So I'm getting ribs, homemade wings from Toots, hot barbecue.
Okay.
And
Their
then I'm
hot
going,
barbecue is pretty good.
yeah. Then I'm going another homemade steak, probably cooked. Gonna go medium with, of course, homemade. So I've got my own seasonings for that.
Yeah.
Then I'm going probably say fries, probably McDonald's fries. And their Sprite with mac and cheese.
Mm.
My mom's mac and cheese.
Okay.
That'll probably be it for me.
So
Last
for me, again, I'm gonna keep it real simple because it's my favorite meal. I have the most memories attached to it. I'm having my mom make me big ass thing of her chicken Alfredo with some Texas toast on the side. Drink is probably going to be sweet tea from Milo's, Bojangles, or just my mom's homemade sweet tea. And then my Grammy's chest squares and some.
I'm adding that to a dessert. We're adding a dessert topic onto this.
Oh, we're adding a dessert?
Yes.
Okay,
There's going to be a dessert on top of that.
Take away that then. The Milo sweet tea with my mom's homemade chicken Alfredo and Texas toast.
Okay. Fair enough.
My lady. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, on the side, in a little. Actually, fuck it. Give me the entire thing. My lady's chicken Alfredo bread bowls. I'm not sure exactly what she calls it. Well, we get those long, like baguette-looking bread, hollow it out, fill it with chicken Alfredo. Huh.
Oh.
So put that. That's a lot of pasta, but like I said, we dying today. So I don't give a fuck.
Dying.
Fuck the carbs.
Okay, dessert. I'm probably going to be simple with this. My mom's chocolate cake.
Okay.
The whole cake. Fuck everybody else.
Already made the grape soda joke, so I'm gonna. Plus, that's your mom, and I don't want to be disrespectful. So
that's what I thought.
And she listens to the podcast, so I really should cut
this
out. Cut this out. Just cut it out. Cut this part out. You're gonna be texting your mom when the podcast comes out. Hey, around minute 2, listen to that part first. Or an hour 2, not a minute 2.
Yeah, go ahead and start at the hour 2 mark and then go back.
And then go back. I want you to hear that part.
She's already got mad at you for the TCU slip up.
That was funny. I'm shocked too because you said, has she listened to every episode?
I don't know if she's listened to every episode, but I know she listened to that
one. Well, she listened to that one, and I have that story of what I did in the cafeteria or what I got done to me in the cafeteria. I'm shocked you didn't get a text about that.
She didn't mention it, but she focused on the HBCU TSU one.
That's fair. That was a slip up. But continue.
Yeah. No, it's on to you now. Dessert.
Oh, just the chocolate cake?
Just the chocolate cake. I was going real simple.
All right. So I'm having my grandfather make me his Kentucky Derby pie. You know what a Kentucky Derby pie is? It is pecan pie, but you add chocolate chips and Kentucky bourbon into it. Fuck.
Okay.
That's what I have every year for my birthday. God, it's so good. I have to
try that.
I'm having, you already guessed it, my Grammy's chest squares.
Grammy's chest squares, yeah.
And then I'm having maybe like a small, medium hot fudge shake from Sonic.
Okay.
Yeah. Or, yeah, I was about to say like an ice cream cone from Karen's Custard, but I'll take the Sonic. Karen's Custard is a local Smyrna custard shop, for those of you who are like, what the fuck is... What? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I was about to say in total, but I know I'm going to get stuff wrong because that was real spread out.
Just know, for our last meal, we're going to be a bunch of fat asses.
We're going to be a bunch of fat asses, but don't care. A, we're already fat asses, so go fuck yourself. B, we're dying that day. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to do outro or me outro?
You can go for it.
All right. Let us know some of y'all's favorite foods, maybe the last meal, where you like to go. Some recommendations you may have for us in the comments.
I'll take recommendations all day.
In the comments of the YouTube videos and the comments of the TikToks, let us know. We're working on Red Light Trivia Night coming out in a month or two.
Yep.
Right?
Episode 16.
Episode 16, we're going to aim for it there. I have no idea what episode we're on. By the way, we see the shorts
11.
doing numbers. Episode, 22 subscribers in counting.
Yes, sir.
Moving on up, we appreciate the support and the comments and the shares and everything. Follow us on the socials. Twitter, even though it's not active. TikTok, that is active. Subscribe on YouTube. Do whatever you need to do. Listen on all platforms. Spotify.
Instagram, slightly active.
Instagram, slightly active. But Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcast. And make sure, rate the show. 5 stars no matter what. I don't care if you think we're ugly, you think we talk too much, you think we got bad opinions. Say that.
You gotta talk a lot. It's a podcast.
Say that, but leave 5 stars, right? Hey, internet people get mad at reaction channels for reacting to shit, okay? I wouldn't be shocked.
Hey, you talk too much on your podcast, but I'll give you 5 stars. That's all I'm asking.
Make sure you rate the show. It's most important in growth. And make sure you share. If you got a cousin, a brother, a sister, a friend, whoever, and they come up to you and say, the library's kind of dry, you say, see?
Jackie?
All right, you didn't get it? You say,
No,
Jackie
right?
and Z, have a podcast. Red Light Homies, go check out that podcast.
And maybe your mom would like to listen to.
Especially your mom. Tell your mom, hey, these two little cute Southern boys, this little chocolate vanilla mix, these 2 fat asses, got a podcast. Listen to the podcast.
Chocolate vanilla.
Man, we should have named the podcast that. Anyways, it's your boy Jackie and Z. We'll see y'all next Monday.
Yes, sir. Peace out.